Okay, so Sammy Sosa, the retired baseball legend, he's basically been people have been making fun of him on the internet because his skin. He's been bleaching his skin. So originally, at first, I guess in early in his baseball career, he was a relatively dark skinned person. And today, if you look at him now, his skin is very light. He has a very light pink complexion. So his skin has mysteriously, well, not really mysteriously, but it's gotten a lot lighter. So he's obviously been bleaching his skin. Now, Sammy Sosa is not the only celebrity bleacher. There's been a lot of celebrity bleachers, and these are the top four of them that I could think of off the top of my head. Now I'm sure there's more of them, but the top four I could think of, including Sammy Sosa, are Michael Jackson, Lil Kim, and Vybz Kartel. So Michael Jackson, if you look at Michael Jackson, obviously he was a star since he was a little kid. When he was a little kid, he had a certain physical appearance. He had actually basically a kind of a typical African American physical appearance: brown skin, wide nose, big lips. Then he got older, and you see over time he started getting all these plastic surgeries, and his skin started getting lighter as well. So by the time he died, he had this very pale complexion. He didn't look anything like he used to look by the time he died. So he had a pale complexion. Now Michael Jackson said he had, well, okay, first of all, I don't believe people said Michael Jackson was a child molester and all this stuff. I don't really believe that, simply because you haven't had credible victims coming forward. All the alleged victims who have come forward their stories don't really add up. Their stories don't really make sense. So I have trouble believing that. And a lot of the people who say Michael Jackson's a child molester are people who don't know Michael Jackson. I don't know Michael Jackson. I was never around him. But a lot of the people who are adamant that he's a child molester are people who weren't around him. If anybody would know if Michael Jackson is a child molester or not, it would be the kids who are actually around him. So anyway, that's all. So I don't believe that child molester stuff about Michael Jackson. However, I do think he was a skin bleacher, and probably someone who didn't like his natural physical appearance, basically his black physical appearance, and he wanted to turn himself into a white person, and that's what he did. If you look at him over time, you see him bleaching out. He bleached his skin. He somehow managed. He got those kids. He got two little white kids. I don't know if those are his biological kids, if he just got some white children, or if he did some DNA thing to make sure he had the lightest possible kids. I don't know, but his kids look white. He bleached himself out looking white. So Michael Jackson was obviously trying to turn white. Now he said he had vitiligo or something, whatever it's called, some skin disease. Vitiligo, I don't know how to say it, but it's a skin disease, and you see some people have it. What it does is it means that the pigmentation in people's skin is uneven. So you'll see black people who have these pink blotches all over their skin, and they're like pink blotches on their face, and you could Google it and look it up, but they'll have these blotches around their skin. Now, but Michael Jackson's skin was all white. He didn't have the blotches. Now, he may have had vitiligo or whatever, but he still chose to bleach his skin. The other thing is, it wasn't just his skin that turned white, it was all his features. His big nose suddenly disappeared. Over time, his nose got smaller and smaller. His hair got straight. I'm pretty sure vitiligo doesn't make your hair turn straight, doesn't make your knotty natural black hair get all straight. So Michael Jackson, he was trying to turn white. There's no other way to say it. Then you have Vybz Kartel from Jamaica, dancehall artist. He was probably one of the biggest dancehall artists in the 2000s, I guess. He's currently in prison for murder. I think it's multiple murders. I think they found some dead bodies in his homes. They said he killed a bunch of people, chopped up their bodies, and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, so he's in prison. But when he first came out, just like Sammy Sosa, just like Michael Jackson, when he first came out, he had dark skin, and then over time during his career, his skin became lighter and lighter, and his skin was all not. By the end, his skin was all white, all light. So he's another guy who bleached himself to become more lighter skinned. Then you have Lil Kim, of course. Now Lil Kim, again, when she first came out, if you go back to her early stuff, her earliest videos, like what's it called, Players Anthem. Watch that video, Players Anthem. Watch some of her old interviews from 1994, 95. Look at her physical appearance. Now look at her now. She got a whole bunch of surgery. She has that Michael Jackson nose, like her natural nose is gone. She has some, looks like she taped a plastic nose on her face. She's all white. Her skin is all light, bleached out. She has straight hair. Well, I guess a lot of women do that anyway. A lot of black women do that anyways. But anyway, she just she's another one who bleached herself out. So those are the 4 big bleachers that I could think of: Sammy Sosa, Michael Jackson, Vybz Kartel, and Lil Kim. Now there's probably some others, but they haven't gone as far as I can see. You have Charlemagne the God from Breakfast Club. His skin seemed to have gotten lighter at one point. Who else? O.J. Simpson might have done that a little bit. He may have had a little bit of surgery, a little bit of bleaching, but he didn't take it to the level of Sammy Sosa or Michael Jackson or Vybz Kartel, Lil Kim. Those are the 4 most extreme ones. And the thing is, a lot of black people, and obviously this is not just confined to the United States, it's in the Caribbean and Latin America, because you have Sammy Sosa, he's from Dominican Republic, a Spanish speaking country. You have Vybz Kartel, he's from Jamaica, a former British colony. So it's all over the Americas. I'm sure it's in Brazil. So all these countries, it's because these people these cultures promote white features as being something to aspire to, and denigrate black features. And the black people basically perpetuate this as well. You probably see black parents, dark-skinned black people making fun of other dark-skinned black people for their skin color. You'll see black parents denigrating their own children for their skin color, telling your children they're too dark-skinned, and making fun of the children's features, and their noses are too big and their lips are too big and all that stuff. So it's not surprising that some of these people, they probably grew up with that. They probably grew up being made fun of by other kids for being dark-skinned, even though these people, they probably grew up around other people who were the same color as them, but probably grew up being made fun of for their skin color. Their parents probably told them they were too dark-skinned, or their noses were too big, or their lips were too big. So they become stars. They get all this money. The first thing they do is they run to the bleach doctor, and start whitewashing themselves to make their skin white, and get surgery on their noses like Michael Jackson, so to make themselves look more whiter. So that's why you have the bleaching. That's why you have these people bleaching themselves out. And If I made a bleaching cream, I would get rich, I think, because in fact, it's not only black people in the Americas or people of African descent in the Americas, like these got Sammy Sosa and Michael Jackson, Vybz Kartel, and Lil Kim, but I heard there's people in Africa who are bleaching. Then you have people in Asia bleaching, people in the Indian subcontinent bleaching, people in East Asia, Southeast Asia bleaching. So if you could make some bleaching cream and make a lot of money off it. And then you also have other groups of people who like to change their physical appearance. You have white girls who want big butts, getting surgery to get big butts, like Kim Kardashian. She had the butt implants. Obviously, if you look at her, you know you know that's not a real butt. It's not real. They're Armenian. Then you have what's the Australian girl, the Australian rapper, the girl who's an Australian rapper. I can't remember her name. She looks like she had a butt implant. Ice-T's wife looks like she had a butt implant. I think Coco. A lot of these girls, a lot of the white girls, they want the big butts like black girls, so they're getting these implants. Then you have Jewish. I heard a lot of Jewish people get their noses done because they don't want to have those stereotypical hooked noses, Jewish noses. So they get surgery on their noses. You have a lot of East Asian people who get eyelid surgery because they don't want to have the stereotypical slanted or small Asian eyes. So they get surgeries to get the stereotypically big Western or non-Asian eyes, or bigger non-Asian eyes. I guess so anyway, so there's a lot of people that don't like their physical appearance and they want to change it. Whether they want to bleach their skin, get bigger butts, get bigger eyes, get smaller noses, whatever. A lot of people like to do this plastic surgery stuff. And when you have these people that probably have their whole life they've been insecure about their physical appearance, because in the case of these black people, these darker skinned people, they grew up with they grew up looking up to that lighter skin and those European features. So as soon as they get money, they become a baseball star like Sammy Sosa, or they become a rap star like Lil Kim, or they become a big singer, a big reggae artist like Vybz Kartel. They get all this money, they run straight to the bleaching clinic and get their skin bleached out get the most expensive bleaching treatments. So anyway, I mean, I don't know. I don't really, to me, it's their problem at the end of the day, and it's not really, you can't really exclusively blame them. They're responsible for their own actions, but it's really a bigger society issue that that basically brainwashed them to do this, to bleach themselves out like that. It was a whole society. I'm sure the whole society when they were growing up brainwashed them to think that they should bleach themselves. So I guess, what do you expect to happen? What do you expect?